Welcome to another installment of This Is Not Normal on the Political Drain podcast with Drill Sergeant Doug, aka Admin Doug, a U.S. Army veteran, teacher, musician, and family man from Jamaica, now fights for justice and democracy through commentary and humor. Follow him on YouTube at Political Drain and at Sons of Liberty Official as Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug, continues to protect our freedoms.
And it's about remembering we can't do this again. People of color, I'm talking to us, talking to you, Latinos. I will vote for Donald Trump. Do you remember your What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here. And, since I did that video yesterday, you know, the one about the Somalians that are now getting their extra FAFO because Trump called their country stinky. He just said it stinks. He says that it's not even a country. People are just walking around killing each other. It's just a land mass where people walk around and kill each other. It's gross. It's a cesspool. He called them garbage. And I simply brought up some footage of when they said that they're going to be voting for Donald Trump in 2024. But I also put nuance on it. I try to remind people that it's not just those people that live there, and that those people who were on the TV screen were pretty much exploited. Yeah, because that is spicy, because that's what people want to see, regardless of which it was a little bit divisive, even though I was trying to back them up, even though I was saying it's not all of them. And I was saying that the ones who didn't vote for Trump needed to speak out. In return, it didn't do so well. Didn't even get 1,000 views. I mean, even one person unsubscribed. And it just, compared to the rest of the views, it was abysmal. It bombed. People don't like the divisive stuff. They don't want me calling out the FAFO. So I figured I'll do it again. Why not? It's Sunday. I figured I'd do it again. Let's just blow it up then. Let's just blow the channel up. Because a few days before that, I think last week sometime, I guess a few days, I talked about the fact that North Carolina is in a war with ICE at the moment. And that people were scared of coming out of their homes, going to work, or even going shopping because ICE was just grabbing people off the street. And I was with them, just like with the Somalian people. I said, hey, I know it's not all of you. I tried to do everything I could to ensure that I was fair and concise, but I also mentioned stuff like this, and it's about remembering we can't do this again. People of color, I'm talking to us, talking to you, Latinos. I will vote for Donald Trump. Do you remember your shit? I ask that you not forget it. I'm not supposed to be talking like this. I know, but I can't help it. You have to prove to us, to the rest of us who've been here in the chains with the boots on our neck, that you care enough and that you don't think you're better. That's it. That's all. It's not that bad. When was it bad to sing the I Will Vote song? I know. I'm being petty, but it's not for no reason. Because the truth is, in that same video, I said that I would be fighting for the same people who voted against me, who voted against America. And I wanted them to maybe change and learn a lesson. Many of the same people who voted for their own demise, huh? The same people who I'm willing to go to bat for and fight for now, because it also happens to affect everybody, and it's my oath. We're very, very happy to vote for this, so that they could have lifted the ladder up. I know I'm not supposed to talk about that divisive stuff, but I can't help it. I can't help it. The same people thought that it wasn't going to be them. A lot of white women did the same thing. And soon, when the hospitals are gone from your rural area, you'll still find someone else to blame, I'm assuming. I hope that we've learned our lesson. Until then, I'll be resisting. Maybe you can join me. And I thought that was a message everybody on this channel could get with. Not this guy. Not this guy. I'm not sure why he was mad. What is he talking about? I had nothing to say about Mexicans. I said Latinos, in case he thinks that he's the only type of Latino. And not only that, I said I was fighting for them. And the entire video was about the fight going on, the war against this. And them becoming more than that, televised version. The difference is 60% of Latino men voted that way. So it's not the same as the Somali deal. It's not. That's a lot. Now, for this guy, I thought that someone who watched a channel like this and saw what I said was only truth, not just blanket blaming people. You saw what I said. I said more than that. But maybe it's because it was coming from me. I thought that someone of Mexican descent who votes the right way, who doesn't see himself as better than others, we'll get to that. I thought that they would understand that they should be more mad at the people who didn't vote the right way than the person calling it out. But maybe it's just the fact that it's me saying it. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm not of Mexican heritage. I'm not a Latino. So it hurts more when I say it. So I thought I'd bring on Carlos Alvarez-Aranyos from American Opposition. When we were in D.C. a couple weeks ago, we were going through all of the House representatives' doorways, opening them up and telling them how we felt. We were lobbying for them to impeach, convict, and remove Donald Trump. But there was one special moment where Carlos went into another Latino lawmaker. And since it's coming from him and not me, maybe this will sound better to you, sir.
Miami serving as the capital of Latin America. And the fact that you guys have failed our community this way is very disappointing. And I just wanted to tell you, as a Latino and somebody who's prominent in politics and trying to do something, we need the help of other Latinos.
Well, what's that?
So I say that, I'm not even here by the
it was definitely not
I'm just saying as a
in
Dominican,
August.
it breaks my heart that the Latino representation in Congress is not standing up for our community. So I just wanted to
Absolutely, yeah, I'll look into that and then
Thanks for your time.
I'm sorry, right there. Yeah, absolutely.
Well done.
Thanks.
Oh, Charlie Kirk. Yeah.
No, it's...
Okay.
That man is a disaster on levels that is hard for me to... As a Latino, this is the problem. Because Latino communities are being persecuted, and this is a Latino congressman from Miami who is supposed to be standing up for us, and he is Donald Trump's biggest pet.
Wow.
And he's corrupt to the core. And honestly, Carlos Gimenez could not be more of a disappointment as a human being, one of the most corrupt people in this country, and somebody that deserves nothing but shame for failing to stand up for the communities he's supposed to represent. As a Latino, I am ashamed of this human being.
That was the energy I'm looking for. He despises that guy. It's not because he's of Hispanic descent or whatever. It's because he's a disgraceful human being who turned on his own Americans, but even worse, on his own ethnicity. That's who you should be mad at, sir. Maybe now that he's said it, maybe you see the type of energy that I thought I had on this channel, that I think you should have when I bring this up. Maybe it'll hit different. Or maybe you were just mad when I said this. Even the Latinos with legal status supported arresting and deporting criminals. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But these opinions are quickly changing. As they see more and more of their friends, neighbors, even family members arrested. Going after criminals is not what they're doing. Hello. Glad you're awake. Going after criminals is not what they're doing, and it's not what they meant by eating the cats and the dogs. And you knew that when you thought it would only be the Haitians. Ouch. Ooh, that hurts. Because I didn't even bring up the racism problem that you have in your community. I didn't bring that up. I wasn't trying to be that divisive. But since you're leaving and you're not seeing this anyway, I didn't bring up the racism problem because how many people didn't hear eating the cats and the dogs? You're not that dumb. There's not enough of you that don't watch anything on TV that didn't hear that statement. It rang around the world on every station, from the goddamn Cartoon Network to MSNBC and in between. If you only watched The Real Housewives, they referenced it there. That was okay with those people. You know why? Because it was Haitians. And when you feel like you're better than somebody, this is something that is prevalent in the communities that come over here from overseas. I'm Jamaican. I know. It took me a long time to get the older people in my own family to realize that the eyes with which they saw the Black Americans and other Black people in this country were one given to them by white colonizers. It took a while for them to wake up from that. So you don't need to tell me. I've seen the memes and the TikToks, but they didn't need to tell me. I know that mentality. That's horrible. And it's the reason why you really believe that it's very likely those people were criminals. Well, I mean, if it's just going to be the Haitians, obviously they're criminals. And those other Black Americans, oh, look at LaQuisha and her hair. You made those jokes. You think I don't know? I wasn't trying to be divisive then. But since you're gone, let's bring that up in the community. Why you were so okay with that. I've heard all the time, well, we didn't hear when he said this about Latinos, and we didn't hear when he said this about Venezuelans. You heard that one, though. You can't tell me you didn't. If you watch television, even Telemundo, that was on there. But that was okay because you thought you were better. And not you. Not you. The people that Carlos walked into the office and scolded because he's a decent person, Latino or not. And the people that I scold because I'm a human being that has morals and honor and speak the truth to my own family and yours. If you can't take that, then it's time to leave. Fine. But admit the truth and be the one that speaks out to them before you end up like the Somalians, because not even the most of them voted for Trump. 23% it was. But the other ones didn't speak out. The only things you can find are the press conferences saying, yeah, vote for the dummy who hates Black people and foreigners. If you're not willing to speak out, then you are part of the problem. I wasn't this harsh before, but since you left, and since it seems to need to be made clear, Carlos Alvarez-Aranyos doesn't take offense to my words. He speaks them, even with more vitriol than I do, because it matters to him. Because it's not a club of skin color. It's about honor, decency, and integrity. And I uphold that. I don't care what the fuck you come from. Do better. And speak out against those who look like you, who don't vote the right way. I did. And I don't feel no way about it. So as a few more people unsubscribe from my channel, goodbye. Because the resistance won't need you. They need the ones who stayed to the end. And for those of you out there, we're in this fight together. And I fight for you like I do the Haitian, like I do the Somali, and like I do the Latinos. But you goddamn better well be ready to do the same fight against the Jamaicans with me while I give it to them. Because I don't care where you came from. The facts are the facts. Grow up. And what's the most poignant was right under your comment was this comment. And that's the point, isn't it? That's the point. Remember who your enemies are, lest you fall into the pit hole that your compadres fell in while thinking that they were against trans and women and Haitians. Be willing to speak up. I won't always be here to do it for you. Maybe I'll call Carlos for you next time. Tomorrow we fight. I'll be looking to see how many people I lose. Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're going to pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads. It's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.
That was the Political Drain podcast, which can be heard on www.groovechillradio.com/political-drain and can be viewed on the Political Drain YouTube channel anytime. Once again, thank you for listening to Groove Chill as we resist fascism in any form, pursue democracy, peace, and love.